interesting and as always interactive, and will be very informative also to you, our viewers. So wherever you are, thank you for coming along. And it's Tuesday, the 17th of January 2023, and it's the week's second edition of the Good Morning Africa program right here on Africa TV. su ko defee mbokk ñu ngi leen di nuyuwaat beneen yoon fii ci Africa TV ñu waat mbégte dellusiwaat ci beneen édition comme ni nga koy baaxoo di defee di ànd ak yéen saa su ne bu waxtu bi jotee mbégte lay doon ñu ñëw ñu ànd ak yéen ci jotaay bi waxtaanee réew mi waaye tamit waxtaanee lépp li nga xamante ne mooy ay xew-xew la ci biir réew mi comme ni nga koy defee saa su nekk daanaka nag kon waxtu bi daanaka dem na ñu ziar leen gërëm leen sant leen ci ni ngeen ñooy bàyyi xel saa su nekk ci jotaay bi nuyu ñëpp ziar ñëpp beneen yoon. tey nuyoo bi nañ ko boole ñëpp ci ubbite programme bi jaajëfal leen ba ci safo bi waaye tamit ci kóolute bi incha allah léegi-léegi ñu ñëw ci ponk yi ñu fas yéene waxtaane tey ci jotaay bi démb lañ ko dooroon sax waxtaane ci wàllu kaaraangi réew mi bu baax a baax ñu diggoon nañ leen nañ def suñ kem kattan pour indi fii police ñi nga xamante ñoom ñoo yore seen kaddu ñu waxtaanee ko tey ñooñ teew nañ ci studio bi léegi-léegi nañ ñëw dalal député police Piaro waxtaan ak moom ci loolu tolluwaay bi ak yeneen yi nga xamante ne Gambien si ñu ngi koo laam-laami surtout incident bu xew ci Fajikunda bu yàggul loolu nañ ci ñëw ak moom ak yeneen ci wàllu kaaraange réew mi surtout ci at mi bees bi nga xamante ne ci lañ dugg su bu yàggul lan lañ ci war a mën a xaar ci taxawaay police bi loolu nañ ci ñëw ak moom incha allah ci jotaay bi but just quickly balaa ñuy ñëw ci loolu ma bàyyi suma gars yi ñu nuyoo dañ su ko defee nag ñu dalal gan gi sob ak moom ci waxtaan bi leneen li nga xamante dana fees ci jotaay bi ci kanam yi incha allah mooy ministre bu environment ni ki démba dal di fesal ne monthly set setal bi nga xamante ne dañ ko doon amal ci réew mi xam ngeen lu fesoon la lool ci réew mi ci jamono former régime bi ci jamono nguur Yahya Jammeh samedi bu mujj ci weer bi dañ doon amal setal léegi nag bu nguur bi es bi ñëwee nguur président Barrow ñu dàqal ko dañ ko war a indiwaat weer bii di January on the 28 lan moo tax ñu wax ko bu ci kanamee nañ ko leeral incha allah ci jotaay bi ministre trade moom tamit mu ngi continuer di wër li nga xamante ne mooy industrie compagnie ci réew mi démba tamit am na feneen fu mu demati loolu tamit incha allah bu ñu ko waxtu maye nañ ci ñëwaat ci nu mu gën a yaatoo ci tënk lii ak leneen lañ fas yéene waxtaane tey ci jotaay bi gërëmaat leen bu baax a baax beneen yoon ci jotaay bi Modou Mohamed Niang nuyu naa la naka suba si.
alhamdulilah jërëjëf Amadou maa ngi laa nuyu suñu gan bi nuyu maam ak ñiy seetaan Eyeafrica TV time bi dafa dem already su ko defee dañoo bàyyi rek gàttal na bi pour ñu mën a dugg si waxtaan bi because Piaro mu ngi fi te am nañ lu bëri la ñu war a waxtaan ak
exactly jërëjëf maam yow tamit ñu nuyu la ñu bàyyi la nga nuyoo ñuy seetaan quickly rek den su ko defee nag ñu soog a dalal député Piaro mu nuyoo ak ñuy seetaan
jërëjëf Amadou maa ngi
of all of them that they were saddened by the event. I commensurate with them and I join them in prayers. Pray that the departed soul rest in perfect peace.
Amen.
Police investigations are different from ordinary investigations. Indeed. They cannot be preempted until if all facts are collected, analyzed, and then they arrive at conclusion. And that is why sometimes we personally I sympathize with citizens who are so much eager to know more information about certain things. But then that's not how we work. You know, I will encourage that they take it easy and allow the investigators to do their job. But for the benefit of this program, I may not be very much informative or be giving some details that are yet to be found. But I can give some short analysis of the entire event.
Exactly, that would be great.
When our investigators went on the ground, they found the Imam dead. Of course, they found a rope around him. The circumstance in which he is only would suggest that it's a suspected suicide. You know, I understand that some people raise eyebrows that it could be homicide. These two are different. When it is homicide, it is an incident where somebody is killed by another person.
Indeed.
But when it is a suicide, it is that individual person, you know, going through some self-torture with an intention to die. And from the signs so far that are discovered, from the investigation so far, the updates that we have received at the level of the PRO, it's only suggesting that it is a suicide. It is suggesting that the Imam went through this process with an intention to die, and there is nothing found as yet that suggests that somebody has done a foul play. Of course, further investigation can prove this wrong. But I am giving you what have been collected so far and the updates that I have received at the level of the information department, the PRO department, that it is a suspected suicide.
That is the stage that we are.
That is the stage that we are.
Okay, as we speak. So apparently, how concerned is the police with such kind of incidents happen in our communities, in our localities? This is not just an ordinary person per se. We're talking about a religious leader, but an imam in a community, a suspected suicide. But when you receive the news, of course, you send your person, you yourself was on the ground. Yeah. But how concerned were you when you arrived, and the manner in which also the incident occurred or happened?
You see, when you look at the functions of the police, at the heart of our function is the protection of lives and property. Yeah. So that if a life is lost, it becomes a personal concern to us. You know, it saddens us more than those who are even affected. You know, we're going to that ground, looking at people, because people were so much there, breathing from how they feel, seeing people cry. We want to make you cry. Yeah. You know, after all, as a human being, but also as an institution responsible for protection of those lives. From the police high command to the last person in the police, when people die, we feel like we have lost a person whose life we should have saved, whose life we should have protected. Yeah. Even if some of the deaths, or most of the deaths that are announced recently, are beyond the reach of the police. They happen within our domestic zones. You know, we have seen a lot of domestic crimes, you know, resulting to murder. Yeah. People claiming another person's life in houses, in football fields, in other places that are not at the reach of the police. You don't expect, for example, it doesn't happen anywhere in the world where police go and become security officers in people's household. The question now will become, what is the privacy of the people? Yeah. You know, and these murder cases that happened recently are normally done in such nature, and it only invites some reactions rather than some proactive measures. So we are very much sad, and if anything, it helps us to strengthen our advocacy. We speak to families, we speak to communities, we speak to religious leaders to advocate the message of peace, so that people are reoriented, so that the people are informed that killing themselves, causing murder is not a way out, that we could have done something better for ourselves. Yeah,
absolutely. I think the need to spread the message of peace in this country has become more eminent, because many believe that Gambia is turned out to be a country that we never knew or we were not like before. But we will get to that later on. Before we will shift attention to the local language, for you can just summarize on the development that you have just highlighted. I just wanted to ask you, because those people who are very much pertinent on this incident, and probably you said they are eager to know what will be the final outcome on this whole incident, what happened, what is the police find out in their investigation. How soon will people be informed on your final investigations to ascertain as to what might have led to his death? You know, can you give any specific time per se, or you just can't categorically tell us when exactly? But we just want to know, probably before the end of January, for instance, people get to find out, or what can you tell us specifically? How soon would Gambians informed about the whole scenario, what happened?
I don't know whether this being specific will be appreciated by yourself and other people, but how soon is going to be dependent on as soon as the investigations are over. Yeah. How about if for example, I said next week, for example, and we come to understand that in fact it is not the suspected suicide that should stand now, because we have trace and evidence that there is a foul play. That is opening up a whole investigation again. Yeah. But you go to community, you have that random discussion with the people in the community, or those who posted something on internet. We read from them too. You hear some people in their interview saying they don't think the imam will hang himself. You hear people say that. Yeah. You know, you hear people say that they think that it's a foul play. You hear people pointing fingers at other people. But as a police institution, we don't depend on those rumors. We don't depend on the allegations of other people. of course, they might be important in our investigation, but we cannot depend on those allegations and make a conclusive decision. So the span of the investigation depend on the facts that we have and how much convincing are those facts and how much sufficient are those facts. If those facts are so sufficient, even today, tomorrow we announce what resulted to the death of the imam, because I think it is very important so people know. It has triggered a lot of attention. I must confess, it has triggered a lot of attention, and yes, the imam is so respectable in society, so sometimes it begs the question, if the imams cause suicide, how about ordinary people? But that is the work of the police. So until that investigation is exhausted, one cannot identify specifics in terms of time, in terms of duration, to say by this time we are going to do it. And also if you go for a scene where there is a suicide, you stand before the person that committed suicide. There are some apparent signs and symptoms that you read from that particular person. You can tell that this is a suicide or this is not a suicide. But that's the work of an ordinary person. That's the work of an expert, for example. That's going to be a work of a civilian who is opinionated. At the level of police, that's not sufficient. We'll have to go for further investigation and find out what exactly is there, what happened. And then until we find out what happened, we cannot just come out and preemptively inform the public, and that will become misinformation.
Great. So that's great. And before Nyang Amonya will weigh into discussion, I will allow you to summarize this in the local languages as to the update and the investigation that you are. And of course, apparently, just allow you to do that in Mandinka, and then we'll take up the Wolof version. We will endeavor to do that for you. Don't worry.
All right, thank you so much. Madingol ngalbe konton mol mene alanko be inki ba jibe kan comme ni jonli so la kacha be dendin kol menna ay nyininka ko la men be dendin imamola imamo me alanko ntol ka fa suspected suicide ika dun dawol kono comme famfa at police level ntol buga fono fa famfa la fama famfa nkanna kiskisi role lake kiskisi role ba itandila fo imamo nyi fo mola fa fata fo la fa wo kiskisi role lebe kering sansa enten kibarol men soto kiskisi role bunna dala wala nyindi ko kabirin taraje nga imamo tara laring bung kono bung mi alon ko amambal lola tubabol safa incomplete building ana balaje fala nga julo taraje julo mea se sobodi tandino ko ñimu juli mi alon ko askeno maria fangdeng wala moya sita kanto wala o sifa kabeyo bodaje nga sikale nga sambalop tanoto pro wol finansila ila docteur kisi rol ke ka jibe fo ali parcours sotole fama ali parcours soto fo fandengo dronde ñinti fama nga fandengo dronde so kolbe dending wo tumol sansante folo barna molbe kisi rol jamal la be family members ol ñini nga kanne imamolo dimbaya ana dingolu kapra dimmusol fa dinkel ebe kis kanne be ñini nga kan be kibarol taka wol fana bulu ada mbajigiri ñi nako askeno na ni kis rol banda wato wati mba kibaro funtindale kuola men yale senata anen si gambenol be kibarno ko nyinatina nyino la nyina be sunding imamola sayala
so kabirin wo call keta at the level of the community, my also Mandinka is not that much good, but I just want to say that because people are so much concerned ko nying keta mola community and imam mola, this is an imam involved. So how concerned is the police? I want you also to explain that in Mandinka, because molbe sila side anyi manke mo ndinti na community imamolo so nying keta people get to fear molbe sila lesai. So what could happen to other people? It's in 2 mirror or whatever suspect but a ketale. So and it's an imam until ngatonya find out there'll be always different versions of molbe kumol follow. So at the level of the police, how concerned are you for Jeffan and after je coin
ha comme ngaf angale konto nyama ntol na do ko dending ku jamal bari call phone kono men ko mayade je wala nkamol live na balwol mol siol ke tanka ani ila fengol ila nafulol na doko kono munna tunkunda ko mayari mbaldi so wakamala nimmo fata wala mo mantorata wala yemo bude wala yemo nyapinkaya ka kuti me alan ko akantol nyoki abake akan nyotora fokata mi mol fon la meni alan ko wala fon ba sutiyaring wo imamo nyinna police bundaro kabirna IGP Inspector General Abdoulaye Sanyang for na molbe man nikuya da itandi yinkola membe dending imamola bangola baduala fo alama alasa yamfo kay ala junubol bela so arjana kallankela yinkol koma balfa wartale ni ajube baga sansanten fam fal membe kering wala mo fal me alanko itambita comment demanding imu kullete me alanko wol manke dulalti polisol satarano damento aka kenna solle kono aka kenna football filo leto aka kenna fawon la dinkira leto aka family damale tema mol me yalon ko ino to lebe sabati din blackling ino mol me yalon ko to len kanunyolti aussi fal an polisol titano mol bela bunko na kasije pour ka foko beber tankala odo wala na fonson do wala na police station soto pour ning aussi fal kada mol na e bole so aka niok ya bake ni mo fata fata fanya ala me alon ko amninya an tolta fenno la je because am kulati me alon ko akedal dro so o ka kenya sula ko bati bari mba ferol fanan la kanne pour ka jeko fal me alon ko wol si jarano nsol continue ya no le do ben ferol ke ga pour ka je wol si fal kana keno
okay. All right. And finally, investigation la call fanam because mol bije me alon ko e kala fina lon na nying ko ketanya tonya belon na tanjumal how soon of course ya fale al bal investigate for bari me alon ko e lafta ka men e lafta ka nyin long as quickly as possible so they mune follow call fanam so that people can understand ko albe doko ke kam bad fanam for moli a patient, a police bula, a doko, something like that, because people want to know exactly what mune in sabub, and especially incident me yalon ko imam le involved ala ko yeah.
Come lafa mole men follow understand. Ning tajerante yal kita, wala tinyarol kita, wala kasararol kita men be comme nyin sifal. Banku ding dol saji nyaming ani polisol ba jala nyaming i mankiling i residano lo i fayenne dron ya foko nying ya fal imamo no ne ta fa fa no ite so fono o bakere tala miral ko dronati do fanansi findino afoko no imamo nyi afam fale maybe ni ko ya ko lata kan maybe ani mola dunta nyola maybe mola malundi wasifal mo do fananso fono o bakele o mari la miral ko lati bandel membe police bunda daro ntol buka fintinan ka miral kol fintinde wo nyama nin tol kata ko kan bukata nyin kama ko ngayina miraje ngara kamale pour ka kisikisi sain na lodula anin na fokumo men ko bondi o be sunding na kisikisiro tanyalla ni na kisikisiro ya itandi ko yara fon mol kam men fon fo comme ngo mol nyim fa wonto to nyaati imamo fon le maybe alala la yino kan imamo fon la famfa wala ngaje ko yar fan so bitam men nako imamo la famfa o manka to nyaati de na kiskisiro ay tandi ko amanka wodi mol nyapita ka wala fa so wod bebe lonno no nyaadi o kalon kiskisiro la so wal nan tol ndol la force bunda na tunkum folo ngam ka kiskisle ninga kiskisi o tamol ka lon munen to nyaadi an munen manke to nyaadi adu sa kiskisiro be nyamen ka kujama lewulu sako ko membe dende nyin sifala ni na rajube ni ko be la moy bala molla comme etam police officer ko be la molla bala molla italo na fo be lola damendo italo na fo ba fala ko mola fa wala fa so nin ko be o nyama ba kunna bil fasal lingo sifala aka kole a bakle pour yalon ibitano nyame so fo kiskisroke andi bu ko judu fenna ite kibar nata fo yo kibarota fo yo kibarota alena dunga ko be ko na le nyininka ale ala kiskisroke fa pare den nan ko senata ma set wata mo dronem isa fono ko nyinebe kering and for what time we see ito lahi do dino la ko abakala samale wala sininding ni atra no kiskisrol fon bandano hani bi wularo sama somanda makibaro dila ko inatna imamo fat bar ni o mambang fa bakala lokun nalati fa bakala demba men fala mole wala ko ya ke demande moniti ya polisol bule do ko ke ni ko ni polisol le fon ni ko ya katami community member solla ni se mon mako no nyaonya ye mon mako ni dole information soto information o membe dending imam mola fala is o information samana because over polisol do ko trendle na ba lankene me yande la fana
okay abarka bake deputy PR thank you very much mon dégg nga kaddu yi lum indi ci leral fi yef yi tollu demba waxon nañ ci bañu am am ku ñu dëkk ñu bari ñu call sax surtout ñu dëkkee Fajikunda call lañ bëgg a xam justice dañ bëgg a xam lu leer ci yëf yi waaye fu yëf yi toll dégg nga fu lim ko waxee ñu ngi gestu am na luñ jota amagum ci xay xibaar lu wane ne ma mel ni luñ yaakaar luñ njortu ne imam bi moo rey boppam loolu lañ yaakaaragum ci luñ jotagum ba loolu firndewut ne loolu moo am ñu ngi si seen ay gestu surtout report bu war a jógee ko ci hôpital bi ñu ngi ko xaar yooyu yëpp ci post mortem bi ak yooyu mel noonu ban jàngat nga am ci kaddu yi nga xamante ne jot na ko waxagum ci yëf yi.
am naa laajte gi problème bi mooy ne xam nga député PRO déggul olof loolu mooy problème.
waaw soo waxee na dégg
because yow as PRO ñi nga nekkal PRO askan bi 85% ou 90% dégguñu anglais ba pare yow sa message yëpp si anglais so loolu dafa des. waaye loolu dafa mel ni yaa ngeel nax askan bi. so no exemple laa ko jox. waaye su nekkee ne ñi ngay wax askan bi su luñ dégga loolu mooy lu correct loolu nag du it's not your fault it's not IG fault système bi dëkk bi la te loolu dañ si war a jóg pour mu génn fi. yes nit ñi dañ war a wax ak ñoom si luñ dégga soo demee Kieng mais bi mandinka bi moo fa gën a développé nga wax ak ñoom message bu nga bëgg a wax ak ñoom si mandinka bi but sooy politique nga def ko si mandinka but soo ñëwee back your office you go back to English loolu da ngaa nax nit ñi. so coming back to si lii nii si police démb daf nañ si waxtaan bu am solo pour askan bi waa Fajikunda kool neen si sa biir waxtaan wax nga ne su ñoo gëstu di nga dégg lu ne waaye ndax da ngeen dee bàyyi xel tam because different opinion daf di am yes kii reyin ko dafa rey boppam ñu nanguwuñ ne tuuma la ne moo rey boppam so loolu yëpp da ngeen si da ngeen ko doon jël as evidence pour boole ko seen investigation wala.
You understand what he meant?
Yeah, I understand. Very well. Let me make it clear. I'm not the PRO. I'm the deputy PRO.
But you are coffee maker.
Yeah, but we don't joke with those things.
This is ASP Dabo.
No, yeah, they don't joke.
No, we don't joke with those things.
No, absolutely.
Okay, deputy PRO.
Yes.
So first, let me be clear. Our PR, public relations office, we understand that there is a gap in terms of communication, and that's why, unlike me, my boss speaks Mandinka, speaks Wolof. If he speaks Wolof,
I meet her.
Fula, and speak moderately Jola, in Serel, almost all of these native languages, major native languages, she understand and can speak fluently. That's unlike me, And if you speak Wolof, for example, I understand. If I have to respond, if I should respond in Wolof, we'll switch
like
off.
Here.
We'll switch off the TV.
Because
that's how bad my Wolof is. But I try.
Just try. No problem.
No, it's all right. In fact, you have.
Eyeafrica, they want to change the system.
No, the thing is, but let's put it like this.
Yeah.
You have been very genuine and honest because Limfua Mandinka learn.
No, you said when.
Wow, so we agree.
You said when.
So Lola,
definitely
the concept here is sometimes we problem that we have.
I just want to put that point across that
clear.
I am able to speak at least a native language. That part of your listeners will understand.
Okay. I know. Because
in fact,
English baax na waaye li nga wax Amadou si Mandinka tey li ko dégg moo ëppoon fuuf li ngeen li dégg
waaw dégg la
ñun loolu leen de bëgg ñun local ren bi leen la
waaye tamit in as much
Mandinka Olof Fula Jola anything
in as much as ne bëgg nañu ñu wax ci Olof or Mandinka the official language of this country is English.
Yes.
That remains. Loolu moom mënuñ ko.
loolu bañuñ ko.
So loolu la bon nañu
Amadou loolu xam nga ñun am
waaw.
Okay. Let's move ahead.
He's out of the office now.
Because it is going to be a very long debate.
Yeah, indeed.
When you come to the native language, and people like me now don't have opinion. I used
okay, let me repeat the question.
No, I understand.
Okay.
The question is whether we take facts, from people, allegations. Those things are very, very, very important for us in our investigation. The truth of the matter is that not all of them are dependable. If Amadou states an opinion and you state an opinion, all of these opinions are taken. Especially if we invite you. But also, I don't think the natives should wait for the police to demand their opinion or what they know about the incident. So what I want to tell them, especially those that understand the Mandinka language, you have anything, if you long you go to police station, You know, you don't even have to go to Fajikunda police station alone. Hanata no ibe basele. Ali efe lo nyinkoto. Ani ite fe asoni ata bakile. Ta base police station ya report. Wol balo ne be la case file no nyadi lo. Fire for na Fajikunda. So that the correct jurisdiction will be in Fajikunda. Okay. So mo damen direct yefen fe long imamola saya koto ani ya mirako abeta bala police la kiskis roto. Ta ya fama bole police station to anu batala mbakala ku kumari mbari. Be la moila. So we are listening force. You know, we listen. We listen to everyone. We listen to the native. If you look at their modus operandi now and compare to before, you understand that things are different. Somebody makes a very good joke of me when I went to QTV. He said, Deputy PRO, why do you people replace arrest to inviting for questioning? Yeah, and you also observe that we don't mostly take our uniform people now to effect arrest. We take non-uniform people who talk to you as same civilians, as if they are civilians, tell you this is what we come for. You are invited in police, please follow us to go. There's no like caning anyone, there's no like beating, maiming, torturing. Those things are becoming a thing of the past. We are taking a modern day procedure on how to apprehend suspected because of human rights. I will choose human rights because our definition of democracy in terms of security management could differ. Some other person can say it differently. But I would say it's respect for human rights and the vision of the police high command in terms of managing crimes.
In terms of, before you move on, in terms of people coming forward, because usually when I speak to, when I used to talk to the previous PRO, the former, he would have told me this sometimes police face, these are challenges, people coming forward, share information. For instance, the way and manner this incident happened in a community, it's always difficult for people to, to come and share what they know with the police, which is very important sometimes. But people hardly willfully come forward and share. Also, you know, I don't know whether this thing still remains a concern at the level of the police.
It's a concern rather, because, you know, to be a witness is voluntary.
Yeah.
You know, you
can force anybody to come.
Yeah, you cannot force anyone, especially if there is no, if that person is unwilling to do so. That's a problem. But I think what people need to understand is if you voluntarily come out to explain an incident that you witnessed, the part that you, I mean, the police will not forcefully extract any statement from you that you don't know. You know, so if you come up with your information and you say something that you know about an incident, that you know about a case, that is helpful for the investigation.
Okay. All right, ma'am. Yeah. Well, okay. Quickly.
I love the thing when the young because Gambian will go young police la investigation la police la kisikere mol jama ako aman nafa soto lafta la ye ko ndi jang muno police yo aman access soto pour les élus à la investigation ke o aman bagage soto o muno ila police problem oti because case jama jang at the starting mol ya long but at the end mol buka understand example ni mol si suñaja to go anywhere you report police okay see adel on the investigation next week nothing if you report
no
bàyyi ma dem because bëggu do wax olof mo dina dégg dina ko dégg xam na no way ñoy tañi ne understand rek so dañu understand
nga door ko mu gëna leer rek mom dina understand na olof bi boko waxe
okay lu ma wax moy ne comme ko understand na because nga dama bëgg mu fair dama bëgg lu mu bëgg dañuy and ci ak mom
non
ñi jaxas baasu ak mandinga bi
waaw mu leer mom
légui lu ma wax moy ne nit ñi ngay wax ne Gambian police sen investigation askan bi lu bari dañ day wax ne amul ci yaakaar légui li problème bi jumtukaay ngeen amul wala da ngeen amul ñu ko mënta def lan moy problème bi be lu bari problème su amé nit ñi duñ ci dé am lu leen leer spécial mbiri Sadia because so fi démé report tay 10 people you report Sadia maybe 7 or 8 ci rek xamuñ fu mo mujjé dañ la wone ci ñi ngi ci ko benn bis dina la musa on la kay ki mo daj ci bitik yow da nga mujjé dem mo ci li leneen lo sarté ci bitik ray itam di senti lan moy problème yi nit ñi ñoo bëgg xam lan moy problème bi Gambia police dañ amut lu ñoo défé investiguer pour am lu leer o den ko munut o den ko xamut pour nit ñi ñoo bëgg xamal lool mu leer.
So I will answer this in piecemeal and probably backed by some evidence. First,
would you rather do it in Mandinka?
yeah, I would like we agreed from the best. I would just
I shall go ahead.
So first, I will start with Farol Mekake, mother. Looking at the nature of mothers in the country here in the past few months and etc. You compare it to before, you will understand that the swiftness levy some charges to you, that you are charged for theft or you're charged for stealing properties or blackmailing for etc. Our next step is to process this file and take it to court. Nintola sama court, ntola doko banda walto sai. It's now the job of the court to either convict that person or levy fines or probably release if there is no evidence. So we'll have a problem, of course, a problem of evidence. We talk about, you and I talk about here. Niman sedo soto ku jama dola ite fenke no la je. So we have departments, we have the forensic department that now is capable for even investigating crimes that are committed online. We have just arrested about 5, 6, 7 Nigerians who were involved in blackmailing. And our forensic department was able to, identify those that are responsible and also bring out a catalog of evidence against them. I wish you see the evidence that those departments are there, well equipped, and they are doing their job.
So the notion of the police don't have the expertise or the equipment to
no,
do
the expertise is there.
Okay.
The expertise, I will agree with people when they talk about equipment. Of course, we are under resourced. That's true. Of course, we have received information every day. Nimole ko for report police. Yeah, when you come to mobility, we have those problems. And sometimes the problems are just beyond the institution. They are just beyond the institution. The institution cannot, sometimes we're not so much capacitated to provide everything for our men. So that's a problem.
So that means there are challenges.
There are challenges, indeed. There are challenges when you come to resources. But capacity, in terms of knowledge, in terms of experts, we have them.
Okay.
We have them. Just recently, I went to HR. This is just, let's say a few weeks ago. They have enlisted more than 20 graduates recently. I have joined, I'm a good example of it. I've joined the police. I've not even spent 5 months in police yet. And I graduated from the University of the Gambia. From my degree straight to the police force. Very few people does that before. You hear people when they said, I completed university, the first thing that they think is to leave abroad to go. Some of us want to serve our nation. Absolutely. You understand? So we don't have a problem of capacity. You look at all our tops, apart from Ministry of Education, I don't know if my guess will be good, apart from Ministry of Education, when you look at the number of graduates in public institution, we'll be part of the top 5. A police institution, in terms of graduates, in terms of those who acquired the knowledge, we have them. We have the capacity.
I once had one of your senior officers also saying the same thing. That police is one of the institutions that have the most graduates, if not, or one of the most graduates in this country.
Okay.
So I can attest to that.
Very important.
Yeah. may dencal bu si kanam. Bu ñëwaatee nga gën a xuus. Dañoo ñëw ci
dafa leeral loo xam ne léegi la ko waaw. pour wax na lu am solo. loo xam ne nit yi xamuñ kii lu mu wax. am na luñ jël teg ko si ndoddi police yi te demeewul noonu. foog na ne suñ police yi xamuñ. d'accord na xam-xam mu ngi fa. mun bi motut. te loolu dafa war a am. naka ngeen a def ba dugal si boppi askan bi nit yi ne. ñu ngeen dénk seen alal yi ak seen bakkan am nañ xam-xam mais bi problème bi risol la ak jumtukaay waaye mun neen def lu ñoo def nit ñi tam mun a am gom-gom boobu si yéen ba jege leen ba lu mun a xew jokkalante bi mu gën a gaaw.
Yeah, that will come from different aspects. For example, it starts from programs like this.
Exactly.
So everyone that's listening to this program today will understand that police has the capacity. They have competent people who can handle crimes, felonious crimes at any magnitude in this country. They will understand that because the nature of crimes we have here are not so serious as you compare to other countries. So the crimes, the types of crimes, the forms of crimes we have here, we can handle it with the resources we have. Of course, it would have been faster, more efficient, easier if we have certain resources available. But we're trying. We're doing our best. And I think that's one of the things that we do, communicating to the public, let them understand that this is what is available.
Probably he's thinking of that channel of communication need to be improved or expand from the level of the police to the community or to the people that you are serving.
Well, we have different channels now. Then it used to be only police Facebook page.
Yeah.
Now we have our YouTube. We have the Instagram, and our outreach is extending day by day.
Yeah.
But we also have the community police unit that is responsible for reaching out to people in the community, asking their problems, offering explanation to those problems, and giving them tangible solutions to those problems. Yeah. Collecting those information and bringing it to the police high command, and that is helping us in making an informed decision. Let me give you an example. There are reports before that the way our men, when they go out for patrol, handle issues are very unprofessional. Sometimes they're involved in torturing. Yeah. You and I don't need evidence. The TRRC was here to show that indeed those things happen. And I think this is one point I also want to make very clear, that 22 years of brutality in this country, as it is evident before the TRRC, cannot just die out in 5 years. This is a process. It cannot come overnight. And we have seen very rapid changes in the way the police operate nowadays as compared to before. Now, that helps us in our information. What do we think is the problem? We think the problem is capacity. What do we do? The police high command now intends to initiate the building of police academy that will be responsible for graduating police officers in colleges and probably in the long run university. An institution that will only concentrate in training police in police work. That's a police academy. And this is a vision of the police high command, and they are doing everything to ensure that it comes to fruition. So, purukana mol fanan karani, okuma ya dajele, nsontale ko amanke waru kafenga be perfect. We are an imperfect institution, just like any other institution. Okay. We have our shortcomings in terms of our operations. We accept that. But we are saying that we are confident that these things will become a thing of the past in number of years, maybe in 2 years, in 4 years, in 5 years. We are changing. The mindset is changing. The orientation is changing. Police officers are even more careful now in what they do. And that's why the incident of brutality, arrest, even more arrest, slow for a you're putting an uniform, raising your shoulder. Those things are degrees. Sometimes we don't even go. Okay, call it. Assalamu alaikum. Italem candidate ha insulate ma police high command. Nene dango nyini karol ni jabiru dole nyanda talala moltem. That's the modern day policing. No, because he also coming a call take manana. It depends on approach. Ninting a call B, go yenana police. It depends nga for nyame. Nikija farandi bado bije, ndiam de nyame ba farandi for you benya blanca na solo. But ni naranang nge bunya nyame for. That's why go and watch the interview of all the recent arrestees. Listen to them. They will tell you that they were respected. They were not subjected to any force. Okay. We ask you an ordinary question and answers. We have our question before you come. We suspect that you are involved in a crime. We suspect that you have committed a crime. So when you come, we ask you as that human being who has dignity, as that human being who should be respected, as that human being who has values, and as that human being who has fundamental rights. Okay. So we don't violate those rights. We ask you questions and you respond to those questions. If the question and answers prove that you are innocent in the accusation, say.
All right. Thank you. Ma'am, mun nga ñëw léegi yow tamit nga joxe sa contribution ci waxtaan bi wala su amee loo koy laaj nga laajte ko ci liñ jot a waxagum amoon naa yéene because ñu waxtaan sax ci affaire crime si ci réew mi xale yi surtout because tey yi mu ngi wax surtout am last year duñ ko doon gis ci réew mi because of time spending too much time on this incident but it's good pour ñu leeral tamit yow ñu bàyyi la nga ñëw ci waxtaan
bi. defe naa ne ñun ñëpp ñu ngi ciy jàngee. te lii rek mooy taxawaay bi.
exactly
am na fu mu waxee léegi gëm naa ne askan wi yàgg nañ ko di wax. te toog naa sax maa ngi ko fi wax démb ne liñ gis recently ci police bi su case amee. daf day am rapid information update of suspects yi ñu wane ne diw moo def lii. fan la muy mujjee nag fu naa ne monsieur Dabo leeral na ko léegi loolu tamit is about our justice system and it's high time pour police bi ak justice bi ñu liggéey to an extent bu nga xam ne askan wi dinañ ci am satisfaction of comme ni ko ñang waxee always dafa am ñu bari ñu nga xam ne daf day dem to an extent of sometimes bu ñu amee problème sax dañuy ne necessary pour ñu dem ci police bi because njeextal bi understand nga the end results sometimes people are not satisfied with it understand nga waaye coming back to my questions Mr. Dabo dafa nekk something lu nga xam ne yaa ngi koy wax léegi is about communication I used to say is a lapses of all institutions of this country communication is a problem. The president. It's a problem.
Now I understand.
It's a problem that we are facing. It's a problem that we are facing, and I think it's high time. Example: take a reference of Senegal. If something happened, you will hear from the expert because you are an expert of what you are saying. It's different from me, a journalist who is just eager there to get information.
Yes.
Sometimes we journalists, we take your responsibility, saying something that we don't even understand the head and the tail. If you were there to explain to the public, it will be different, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
And sometimes we are facing those problems in this country. Whenever there is an issue, the police used to hold their hands. The government used to hold their hands. Now it will be the public.
Right now, problems are more. The commissioner is a doer. The Baha deputy.
Yeah.
Correct. No, more niggas ground be ham leo.
No, I disagree with that.
No, yeah.
I know, I
You
disagree.
are not agreeing with me because no motion system be. Why the one is very wrong.
That is why.
Maybe no
information
be
Let me make it clear.
No, I know.
Just allow me to make an explanation. Let me just explain that part. Every institution, including this institution, Eyeafrica, has its own structures and units and departments, and they have their powers, responsibilities. Yeah? Even you, your own house, you have those powers, responsibilities. The wife is responsible for cooking. The husband is responsible for providing. Child, boy, you are responsible for sweeping. This is responsible. So that no one overlap into the function of other one, but so that there will also be an efficiency and effectiveness. We have a constant communication to all of the commissioners and all the station officers. I have in my phone all the station officers, their numbers, their SOs, and their deputy SOs. So that if an incident happened even in Fatoto rather, I can call the station officer right now and he will give me the information exactly how it happened. So we have something called the flash report. When an incident happened, even before it is investigated, we are sent a flash report that this is what is happening, and we are on top of issues. If it is an incident where I can go myself, I'll go and witness it, like the case of the Imam. I went there myself, and many, many other cases. And unlike it has been in the tradition, like many people complain, I want to put it to you that I call journalists to inform them about information now. We don't even have to wait for them. Okay. We put it up, and we also call.
That's the effectiveness.
And we confirmed. We are a very proactive unit, a very proactive force now. We do not want to take the blame, but also we do not want to underperform by any instance. So we are always on top of issues, and we are ensuring that the public is largely informed on things that they should know. On things that they should know.
But Mr. Dabo,
if there are other issues,
Mr. Dabo,
obviously,
Mr. Dabo,
if there are issues, I don't want to make this complicated for you to understand. For example, it is right for the public to know that the Imam is involved in a suspected murder. Do you understand? Murders appear in strange ways. And when somebody causes suicide, suspected suicide, when someone involved in a suicide, there are signs that are indecent in that person. The public does not deserve to know how that person suffocated. We will not inform you about that. What we can inform you is that he is involved in a suspected suicide and we have found him dead. How he died is not supposed to be communicated to the public. I'm not saying that's what you're suggesting. I'm telling you that's what I mean when I said things that they should not know. They need to know basis.
During the investigation.
During the investigation and even after the investigation. There are certain issues you're going to reveal to the public.
This case can be only known in court.
That's private.
Okay.
You are respecting the privacy of that person.
No, I understand that. I understand.
So,
but Mr. Dabo,
Lolo, let me tell you, Lolo Mota, I said, we have information from all of our force, everyone, all the commissioners, and we are the unit responsible for communicating that.
Okay, Mr. Dabo.
There's a unit also responsible. It's called Human Right and Professional Standard Unit. If police officers violate your right, you go and report it to that particular unit. That is not our responsibility. We cannot do anything about it. That unit is the one that should discipline that particular police officer. If police officers, we feel that there is a capacity gap and they should be trained, there is a unit responsible for training the police officers. That unit is also there. Matters that are handled by court, there is a unit called prosecution unit. They are the one responsible for taking that matters to court. I am telling you how organized the structure of the police is, that every unit has their responsibility. It's not for every police officer to communicate to the journalists.
No,
it's not for every police officer to communicate to other people.
Yeah,
No, I am explaining to him because he said...
in fact, that's how it should be.
That's the fact.
That's
what I'm saying is, that's the norm and the structure and the inheritance of our institutions. But my problem here is...
Mom is a Pan-Africanist, huh?
Yeah, he is very well so.
My problem here is, the problem that we are having is communication is always lacking when it comes to our institutions with the public. And sometimes,
yeah, so I think, I don't know whether you are at liberty to clear that, because people feel like people have somehow resigned on some of the responsibilities because of the TRC, that people, the police are also concerned of what could happen next after they do certain things. The respect people used to give the police, or the way the public used to perceive our national police, has been different, because I mean, at some extent, there's not the respect that people are giving to the police, and this is because now the way the police used to perform, it's no more the same because of the TRRC. Of course, you have given the lessons maybe the police have drawn or learned from that, and they want to avoid doing the same mistakes. But apparently, there are also people have a different view on that. That's what Monyang is trying to emphasize here. So I don't know whether you got that point or
yeah, I got the point. Yeah. And because I will not want to be opinionated, I want to speak based on the existing realities.
Yeah, these are.
You see, about the behaviors of the police and the operation of the police, I want to say in a very clear term that our actions are guided by law.
Yeah.
And operations are also guided by law. The way we execute our functions are also guided by law.
Indeed.
So we cannot use the wrongs of the past to measure the behaviors of police officers of present day. If it is the habit of police officers to conduct arbitrary arrest, which is unlawful, if they are not doing that now, and I think that is the one that is opening the gap of people being confident, not fearing police, then you should know that the police have also adjusted in respecting the rights of the people. I know the operational term. Okay, there was this man that I chatted with. He said, the law should provide for police the right to beat. Because before, when you are arrested, you are afraid that when I go there, I will be beaten. And because of that, people behave well. And since that beating part is removed,
it's omitted,
it's omitted. People are no longer scared of police. They will know that if I go there, I will not be there more than 72 hours, and I will go to jail. But these are laws that are provided, and the police cannot act otherwise. We cannot act beyond what is being provided by law. That's the unfortunate part, And if the laws that are communicated here, which I believe are laws that advocated for the respect of human rights, then the police are duty bound to abide by those laws. I think that's what we need to understand. Policing doesn't mean using excessive powers on people, using coercive powers on people. If there's anything in policing, it's more of enforcing the law, but also involving some aspects of community policing. And it's not all cases that we even hear. Some other cases will come up to police and is withdrawn by the public. Cases that has to do with gender-based violence, for example. Sexual harassment, for example. You hear people come, and we advise them sometimes. We employ some of our community policing techniques. Some other times we suspect crimes and intervene. And talk to people to stop such.
Lima ko buga wax rek fofu moy
benn police kooku mag la sax nasan dafa jotee benn boy bi saaga ko police bi taxaw xool ko dafa doon jooy mais léegi mu xamul lan la war a def kii mu ngi koy saaga nasan comme système bi mu wax.
No, not only that, we are trained. We are trained that even during this conversation, all of you start insulting me. I'll continue smiling.
Of course.
That part of you, that civilian part of you, that makes you angry, it's what you are trained so that it dies.
Yeah.
So that you
but
don't
the
behave
thing here
ordinary.
is, it's apparent that people are taking advantage of that,
upon
of
the
the
police.
laws that you are saying, the democracy or whatever it is that people are talking about, to do things that are unimaginable in this country.
Well, the laws are there for us to punish them.
Yeah, this is it.
The laws are there for us to punish the criminals. The laws are there for us to punish people who conflict with the law, those who have done crimes that are chargeable. The laws are there in this country.
Yeah.
So it is now the responsibility of the police to enforce those laws. And to the best of my knowledge, we are doing our best in that regard.
Okay.
No, no,
Just on a final note, because of,
on a
am
final
na point
note,
bi
Mr.
man ma la si bàyyee dañoo yàgg foofu. On a final note, aban
loi bi la
Waaw.
te dañu xam niti Gambien xam nañ ne
non
problème
nekku
bi
nit
du
yi
yéen
Gambie sax doomi aadama ci boppam
nit
moom
si
mi
boppam
noonu.
nit si boppam
waaw.
xam nañ ne du yéen parce que yéen li ngeen fi fekk loolu ngeen mën a doxal but yéen xam ngeen ne loolu is cause something su cause na lu bari fii yéen xam ngeen i fin soo ko waxee soo xam nga ne dëgg nit ñi joxuñ cër ñu war a xaar bu ko ñàkk jox cër li la war a xaar mooy nga def li la yoon mayut si kanam ki la war a xaar wala si kanam ki nga xam ne mooy tere loolu du cër te loolu moo fi bari di wee dia bien fii man dama dee merci yoon bi
waaye moom tamit
ci biiri moto sax
waaw.
déggoon nga ne waaye police bi bu mu ñu taxawal foo war a seet police bi daf la war a taxawal seet waaye soo si xuloo sax doo am parna because ñeneen ne la waaye wax na dëgg ñii xamuñ seen nangam na because loolu yëpp kenn ñemewu ko foon bi foo so su demee nag ba li nga xam ne ni lii mooy loi waaye mu ngi bëgg a lor réew
waaw loi bi
loi bu bëgg a jural nit ñi fitna
waaw.
booy ñu génnee ko fi indi fi loi bu nga xam ne nii du jural
waaw waaye loi loolu nag du xam nga loolu lu wax police yi ñoom ñoo ko
non xam naa lu doon police
Their responsibility.
Yeah.
loolu
That becomes the responsibility of the city to advocate for the
Yeah.
change of those laws.
well we
Unfortunately
know
for us,
through
we
the
are
National
servants.
Assembly.
you cannot change that
We are your servants. Laws that you bring for us are laws that we enforce.
yes
Where I was coming.
it's finished loolu ngeen a def
Talking about the democracy, but you as a police officer, you have okay. Look, because that democracy, man as a citizen, understand nga, the Gambia, the concerned Gambian there, dafa gëm ne moom démocratie la nekk waaye yow da démocratie bi yéen a ngi jàpp ne human right la nit ki dafa war a am ak ak yelleefam as a security personnel waaye coming back to that ak ak yelleef bi ngay wax noonu tey dañuy gis ne security yi dañ leen di néewal doole ci lu nga xam ne liñ war a def citizens yi ñoom dañoo consider ne ñii am nañ seen ak ak yelleef waaye ndax ñu ngi jox police itam seen ak ak yelleef loolu leer mooy gis nañ fi security yu nga xam ne vidéo nañ leen fi understand nga di leen génnee ba am na si ñu nga xam ne ñàkk nañ ci seen liggéey wax naa ko fi léegi am na police officers yu bari tey Mr Dabo dañuy dem exemple si football match wala ci wrestling understand ñi gis booy yi nekk di tux yamba nii understand wala di naan sangara dañuy toog di leen xoolaan
non tuxu yàmbaar xam nga boobu moom leen ay
boobu
exact loolu dama la woon comme exemple ñu ngi jëfandikoo sinébar wala di lokk ay doom yooyu yëpp tey
foofu point boobu laa bëggoon ñu jeexale with him ñu bàyyi ko mu dem mooy in the issue of crime rate bi is increasing and this ñu bari dañ gom ne has to do with the drugs that especially young people are using in our community. It has get to a level where crimes are increasing in almost in daily basis in this country. So this is what we have lived in the 2022 year. Now we are into the new year. Ma'am, giving reference to what Ma'am is saying, what are the plans the police are putting in place to mitigate some of these crimes as we get into the new year 2023, moving forward? We are just talking about the suspected suicide in Fajikunda, but before that, almost in daily basis, you see cases that are being reported, murder cases, or or other theft or other related crime. So, moving forward, what can you assure Gambians that the police? Are you trying to compare?
No, I'm not comparing. I'm mentioning statement of facts.
People say Gambia used to be most peaceful and safer than we are living right now.
That depends on what measurement, what matrix are they using. If you and I cannot come here and discuss issues, if you can discuss an issue with me as a police officer and tell me that this is not what you are doing, this is what you're not doing, and this guy right here feel confident that today he is going to his house safe, very safe, knowing that he only exercised his right to freedom of expression, and I do not have right to either arrest him or call for his arrest because of him mentioning things that are critical of my institution. That alone is safety. But that's why I said it depends on what matrix are people using. Here now, what the matrix we are using is only when somebody died or when someone. I'm coming.
I cannot buy
Okay. Allow him to learn, then you.
No, I'm not comparing.
No,
I'm not comparing.
dafa tey kanamam de. dafa ràcc tey kanamam. waaw fu muy waxee ni mun na ko.
waaw léegi may leen ko mu daaneel no man balaa ngay comment bàyyi ko mu daaneel.
I think you're comparing. I'm not trying to compare. I don't have any statistical facts to compare the two. I am just saying the reported crimes have now increased, as in how police are transparent with crimes. That's what I am saying. Now, that one you can compare it as before. Before, crimes are not reported. They are concealed.
That's very true.
That's what I'm saying. So,
Okay, fine.
Yes.
That is ma'am talking, not the deputy. Allow him to learn, please.
So, now you agree with me. So maybe next time you just allow me to learn. So that's what I'm saying. You know, the reported crime. We are transparent with crime issue. We understand that crimes are inevitable. They will happen. You know, the best democracies in the country, in the world, America, they have crimes every day. And they report those crimes.
Accountable,
Reporting crimes is not necessarily trying to, you know, show impression to the citizens that we are peaceful. We cannot say we are peaceful in terms of number, but psychologically we are going through trauma as a nation. Psychologically we are going through torture as a nation. Why the police are doing that is because we want to report what crime happened and what our intervention, how are we able to solve it. So people know the work that the police are doing. But it's not to instigate fear. That's not the purpose. In fact, the fear will be after hiding all of this crime, one day the public happen to know about them. The numerous crimes. I say, but why are the authorities not talking about this? Why are they hiding from us? So then you will know. Then you will know that people are being killed in this country, and the public are not informed. And that's not what we are doing. I've given you an example. When an incident happened like this, I called the journalist. I said, "This is what is happening. You're always calling me, asking this is what is happening. I can confirm to you, from the police perspective, that indeed there is a suspected suicide." But we are going into investigation to know the cause of the suicide. And that is a step we are taking in 2023. Proactive policing, involving more into dialogue, involving more into sensitization, communicating to the public on what are types of crimes and what can the citizen do in combating that crimes. Ensuring that there is a civilian policing mindset, that every individual become a police officer of your own. That you are free to go and report a crime in a police station, knowing full well that when you report that crime, the police is going to take a step in ensuring that it is combated. But ensuring that that is happening, we are also reorienting the minds of our officers. That when people come and report crime, you do not have to delay the process. You will have to be on top of issues to ensure that the crime is addressed adequately. Because those are the yardsticks we can measure in how much the police as an institution is ready to ensure that there is peace and stability in this country. That you, I, and every other person is now ready to confront crimes head on and without abusing your rights in doing so. You don't have to beat somebody, handcuff him, and take him to police and say you are combating. No, you are not. You are in fact violating the right of that particular criminal. Now, two criminals are before the court of law or at the police officers. That was what is happening. I like it when you use the words. We don't want that to happen now, and we are avoiding that trajectory. So in 2023, the police force under the police high command is very much interested and is preaching relentlessly proactive policing mechanism to ensure that crimes are not committed and the police become reactive towards it.
And how about,
I can give you an example of that.
The usual police patrol that used to happen.
Police,
that's also
the police visibility has improved.
But usually people say the police will always reactive when issues happen. Then
now why they are not talking about it? The people used to say it. The reason why they are not talking about it now is because they see police every time. Our patrols do not have time now. We even patrol in the afternoon. If some of you are good dwellers in town, you see police going out, even in the afternoon. It used to be only night. But we understand that crimes do not only happen at night. Crimes even happen daytime, in the afternoon, in the morning. Our people are everywhere. Uniform, non-uniform, people are there. We receive more intelligent collection every day. unsuspected crimes. And that's why sometimes you're surprised that when incident happen, the first thing the journalists will say, we found police there. How are the police there? Sometimes you're surprised, but you don't call the police. But you find the police there. We receive our intelligence everywhere.
Okay.
And we are communicating to the criminals. Where is the camera? We are communicating to the criminals that we are available everywhere. And we see them in every hole. And we will ensure that we embattle crimes to the best of our ability. That this country will smile again. That this country will be happy of its police force. That the police, the mechanism, policies, the directions that we are taking will be cherished and commended by the citizens. We come back here in the next 3 years, 4 years, and we play some of these videos. Yeah. And we remind each other, no, you said this, but indeed, we have improved in this part and this part and this part. Yeah, I'm not promising perfection, but we will improve.
We'll hope to get you back here, hopefully, in a month or so. Lima ko buga wax rek xam nga mu ngi non maam mu ngi aso public bi fii something lu neex a dégg ci noppa by the way he is saying things. If it turn out to be that way, it's very welcoming te loolu lañ bëgg. But in a practical sense, that where problem is, the assistant PRO here can assure us that the police will do this, will do that, but in actual sense, in reality, the implementation of those things could be another thing.
Yes.
But so I'm saying in a month or so time, we'll hope to bring you back here to do another assessment.
Yes.
So either you or the PRO, so we can, yeah. So ma'am, just finally.
Nguuri dictator bi fi nekkoon dëgg la politically human right understand nga nit ñi amuñ woon seen sago ci réew mi ni mu doon doxee waaye sub-region bi yëpp dañ nangu woon ne Gambia dafa amoon internal security.
Yes.
understand nga waaye tey nit ñi seen boppa dañ gis ne réew mi óoratut sax tey nga jóge yaa ngi koy wax léegi ndax ñang bu fi jógee xelam dal na mu dem ba këram am jàmm ndax yow tey ñeme ngaa téye sa iPhone understand nga op lii nii ngay dox ci mbedd mi surtout ma laa bu guddi jotee ñemewuloo ko because ñëpp li ñu wax mooy ne dëkk bi amatul sécurité te yéen tey loolu mooy seen responsabilité ak li ñu ci wax yëpp si ay loi ci ay këyit si àq ak yelleef nit ñi mun nañ koo dégg nii waaye in reality ci ground bi nekku fa.
ok
Gambian si problème boobu lañ am.
all right léegi finally rek if you want to comment on that and we just allow you to respond to ma'am on your final message to the public. And we appreciate your coming and the interventions and the clarification that you have also made. Quite very immense and appreciated, and I think that have clarified so many concerns and issues that were, on the public domain that were there. So if you may want to respond to Mama.
Mama and I will have a difficulty in communicating. He's a Pan-Africanist, I'm a security officer. Yeah. Pan-Africans rarely appreciate anything.
No, I do appreciate.
Because they're perfectionists in mindset.
We're all Pan-African. Give this television.
Okay. While I appreciate the effort and the advocacies of Pan-Africans, I do hold a different opinion in terms of certain issues, especially when it comes to internal security in the Gambia now. Okay. As comparing to before, I mean, I will come back here because it's not been communicated. If you're radio, for example, you're this TV, you are only communicating the good side of it. You are not pushing out the challenges you are facing. The you'll be pushing out some misinformation or misleading information.
Right.
No. I'm not suggesting that's what you are doing.
No, it's the public's concern. What I'm saying, because
I want to tell the public because this.
That's why I need to.
Because we are all enjoying the conversation.
Equally himself he is, but we just have to.
Yeah. So what I can tell the public on behalf of the Inspector General of Police and the Police High Command is that the Gambia Police Force is ready to combat the crimes, not only when they happen, but also to mitigate it, even before they happen.
Thank you.
But that we cannot do alone. We call on every citizen of this country that policing should be a mentality of everyone. That every citizen, adult, young, old, is a police officer, even if you do not have the enforcing power. And that's why we have a police station, we have a police post. We are working very hard to make sure that we up our games. The citizens complain that traffic posts are everywhere. The police reason with them, and we reduced that. We now have only the official checkpoints. They said there is so much corruption that the police officers on the way are taking money from people. We introduced the e-ticketing system. Now you are charged instantly and is in the receipt, meaning the police officers cannot be involved in the bribery and corruption part. Of course, we know until now, these things, we know until now that these shortcomings are there, these challenges are there. But we are doing everything, especially we have an intention of transforming our traffic policing system. Maybe the body cam that some other people are suggesting will come to reality. Maybe some other strategies will come to reality that will ensure that corruption on the ways are embattled. But I want to tell you, the number of personnel that we have is not adequately competent of doing everything, especially on issues of domestic crimes. We cannot allocate every officer in people's households, in their homes. So that becomes the responsibility of our elders in the community, of our community leaders, of our parents, of our mothers, of our religious leaders, both in Christianity and Islam. But it also becomes a responsibility of every informed person, every genuine citizen, to report crimes so that the police will be able to address it adequately. And that becomes the job of not only those in the society, but including the media. Conversations like this are healthy, and conversations like this are good, so that we know what is the state of affairs and how do we address these issues adequately. And I want to thank you so much for this invitation once again. And I thank all the listeners who are listening. I think it's a bye-bye from me.
Thank you. Thank you so very much. And we equally appreciate your coming, and we thank you enormously also for your time that you have accorded to us for this wonderful discussion on security-related matters. We'll hope to get him back hopefully anytime soon, so we can keep talking. He highlighted some very pertinent issues with regard to the police checkpoints, the new payment system that the police have effected, and other issues also. We can delve with that in our subsequent edition. But once again, thank you very much. With that, we'll take a break and come back shortly. We talk on cleanliness right after the break. Stay tuned. Thank you.
Banyine kan wata man fo nyala wata amke nyala anin staji SM dambi yalon ko promotion nyon tango mi yalon ko afamata ken 32 inch plus kino mi yalon ko brand new wanolom isa sono staji SM ko wuri warawla plus kino mi yalon 55 inch olom isa connect no ila funo to e WhatsApp GB ya Facebook GB ya Twitter GB ya be GB je sako social media la fannala e kasan wuli muang anin kilindam malam mbading na dinkra ko to soto brikama GTST damial ko ne flash kin santel block no mbe free ticket o dilel ka bo brikama fokata basera futan na dinkra to damial ko aba combustion drive secunda opposite ojola johnson wala outlet talenting maseto wala tabo ko traffic light kada bakilin kambunin julola.
Right, welcome back, and thank you very much for joining us. This is Africa TV, and you are watching the Tuesday's edition of the Good Morning Africa program that comes your way every week from Monday to Friday, and we were talking about security-related matters in the country with the Deputy Police PRO, that the spokesperson, Cadet SP Mohamed Bai Dabo. He have clarified so many issues, also giving us the recent updates on the recent alleged suicide incident that happened in Fajikunda, Bajonkoto. So we would now shift our attention to cleanliness, because the abandoned famous monthly cetatal during the former regime of ex-president Yahya Jammeh is expected to return effective 20th January 2023, as announced by the Minister of Environment and Climate Change, Rohit John Manyang. Now, the minister made the declaration on Monday during a dialogue with the media on related matters to environmental challenges and solutions organized by the National Environment Agency, NEA. Now, the monthly set-settle used to be hours of cleaning exercise across the country. People could gather to do a collective or individual cleansing activities in their different localities. Now, since the advent of the Barra government in 2017, the monthly cleansing day was rather thrown under the carpet. But according to the country's Minister of Environment, the president has now seen the need to bring it back. Here's the minister's message.
The National Environment Agency, in consultation and collaboration with the Minister of Environment, with the approval of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of the Gambia, has now agreed to bounce back the previous popular set-settle executed every month, once again to respond to the priorities and the demand of the public in keeping the nation clean for healthy livelihoods. This time around, this new edition is proposed to kickstart the 28th January 2023 from 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock. In this implementation, we are requesting of every key players. Key among them is the council, the municipalities. And the focus is going to be the Greater Banjul area, because that is where we are having not only the bigger mess, but the attention of the people that visit the Gambia. So that being the case, the bigger attention is going to be given to the Banjul, the Greater Banjul areas, to make sure that at least a nationwide of set-settle is executed to the latter. So in this, I call everybody to give it their best. It is our collective responsibility. The council should take the lead. We call on to the security. They are our key partners, our closest partners, our friends, our brothers, whom without their efforts and their support, we will not achieve the success we desire.
Minister of Environment speaking there, Rohi John Manjam, on Monday during an interface with the media on environmental related challenges and solutions as well. So she made the declaration finally. Set-settle bi nga xamante ne dañ ko doon.
li nga xam ne ni baaxul.
waaw
so li nga xam ne ni baaxul si woon. so ñu indiwaat ko. waaye doo doon nguur rek. jël lépp nguur googu rek këpp moo gën a indi nguuru président bi doon doxal ci yu mu nekk. gos coalition bi la woon ñu bëri nekkoon si coalition bi ñu ngi meroon bu ñoo ñëw. seetul lu Yahya Jammeh defoon si lu baax. ñoom lu bon rek leen gis boole ëmb boobu yëpp sànni ko si teen bu yàqu. dafa ñu jural coono bu bëri la jural fii tey parce que lu bëri Yahya Jammeh yu baax bi yëpp dañ ko waroon a teg si table bi jëriñu ko.
lu mel ni comme set-setal bi.
set-setal bi
setal dëkk sa dëkkuwaay. loolu moom nit waroon nañ koo wax ne ok waaw am na yeneen. waaye lu mel ni comme lii te setal sa dëkk wala sa dëkkuwaay moom ñam ku la koy wax ku la koy def la foog naa lu baax si yow la bugg te mun nañu wax ne ok Yahya Jammeh nu mu ko doon defee.
waaw loolu dinañ si ñëw loolu sax afta bëgg naa see laal. waaye first of all mistake yi am. lu baax yi fi yaa sampoon ak yi mu fi defoon yuñ sànni jural nañu problème parce que mënoon nañ see tàmbalee ba tey mu éegal ñu fu beneen jëlal lu bon li nga teg ko saay because kuy doon moom bu la nee nga teg la fële bul ko yow doo doon ay nitam buggaloo doon jëf yu baax yi mu fi sampoon ba pare nga doon ay nitam teg leen ñi jege léegi lu baax li tam indi ko moo tax ñi ngay indiwaat lu yu baax yi mu fi defoon set-setal bi dafa am interest trop dafa am njëriñ trop si réew mi ku ne xam na ne réew dafa war a set dafa am jaan ji ci laxas woon ndax ñoom laqati nañ jaan ji mooy set-setal war a tere nit ñi doxi seen soxla ni ku war a tukki war na mën a dem tukki ñii set-setal Sénégal moo tax ñoom ñu ceeñ doxalin bi président bi génn di dem ak yooyu noonu loolu yooyu soppi doxalin waaye fii leen ko jàngee ne waxante dëgg dontale sax ñoom set-setal yàgg na si ñoom gox bi ñooy génn def ko ñoom de warul yaaxal soxla kenn second li lépp lu nga xam ne dafa war set-setal bi bagage yooyu dafa war a tegee waruñoo seet seetal mbalit bi nekk si Johnson yi bay fa xeeñ bay fa nekk week dafa daan am loolu warta am
waaye est-ce que léegi nu ak système bi nu mel ndax loolu dana effectif parce que mu ngi woo tamit council yi nañ ci jàppa
xam nga waru nekk
ko bëgg a commencé bi ci
council dafa war a nekk ak ñoom téebul bu fekk council yi du ordre rek si mic de ñoom council yi dafa war a bokk si plan bi ak National Environment Agency NEA waaye fekkee ne leen si bedd def press relief wala press conference woo leen si loolu is not officiel toogaay bi balaa ñu ko doon nasaat di ko indiwaat council dafa war a bokk bu ko defee council bu téye seen loxo council am na moto yu roñ mbalit dañ si war a bokk nga def ko ak ñoom
dafa nekk lu collaborate
dafa collaborate la war a nekk waaye su fekkee dañ ko def togg ñoom ministre bi ak National Environment Agency ba pare door a invite council bi just si living mi fekk lu nekkul something loo xam ne dafa officiel dañ war a fekk fa ñoo nasee ak fi ñoo noccee ne dañoo use seen oto yi because ñoom ñoo ko waroon a def tey ñu ñëw dimbale leen si dañoo use seen moto yi ba pare itam gis transport
dañu war a xaar pour ñu oo leen ci lii
non waruñ leen a xaar ñu boole waaye Amadou
parce que liggéey buñ ko
xam nga affaire yi politique dama bañ mu laxasu si
non waaye du
waaye li di politique fii leen la ngay understand mooy lii bu ñëwee
waaw xam naa lii maa am na njëriñ nguur lu muy lépp lu muy def intéressant moo tax mu ko
waaw
te daf mun na see laxas politique because we are coming in election
non waaye yaa ngi wax ne politique bu ànd ak njëriñ yow bugga nga loolu
of course man bugga naa loolu
waaw bu dee politique tamit waa njëriñ askan bi
waaye
baax
su fekkee dafa nekk politique ministre environnement def ko national environnement ba pare seppi si council dootu nekk njëriñ
waaye loolu soppuñ so dañ leen woo ministre bi tuuti na
dama leen woo waruñ leen warut a MC woote laa wax dañ war leen a war a invite ñu bokk si waxtaan bi ba door a génn
problème bi mooy est-ce que ñoom parce que ñoom dañ ko war a def balaa ñu leen di woo
dañ ko war a def balaa ñu di waaye su fekkee ne dafa nas loolu pour ñu indiwaat ko dañ leen war a invite bu West Coast invite KMC invite Banjul wax ak ñoom ne leen lii dañ ko bëgg a indiwaat loolu laa la wax xam nga lépp looy def
invitation boobu def na ko
moom laa la wax su fekkee ne def nañ ko buñ koo def
ci message bi fii wax
non dafa doyit ci message daneen woyu ji nag waaye doyit ci message du lu war a nekk dañ ko war a séq ak table because li problème ñoo ñu am moto yi rañ balit te ñoom buñ leen boolee si waxtaan bi dafaa nekk lu ko gën a yombal
ok
moo tax ma ne nag nañ leen si boole sa ban leen si war a boole indi leen ba pare gis transport pour moto yi xam nga lu ñoo bañ woote fi set setal mbali di fi nekk si kër yi ñu sotti ko si kaw tali bi ñu ne bu fi gande romba mu war fee am 1 week ou 2-3 days buubuñ ko loolu laa ne bu mu nekk
ok
comme que lu ñu waajal la na nekk lépp mbalit bu génn ñu meg soo balaa jant bi so def nañ ko si oto yóbbu
ok léegi bàyyi maam mu comment foofu nañ ñëw ci effectiveness bi nañ koy defee ba mu ñu gis ne loolu mu nekk lu FSM man loolu is another thing parce que su fekkee ne yaa ngi ko wax sax buñ pare nit ñi dox seen soxla loolu tamit leneen la but bu boobaa kan mooy génn def set setal bi maam but sa réaction ci déclaration bu ministre bi def démba set setal ñu ngi koo indiwaat te jàpp nañ bés bi sax te mu ngi woo council si
man aw ma ci mbetteel pour ma gis ne lii war naa am li tax ma wax ko mooy ne Amadou foog ñi nangu ne environment dafa important te ñun dañ am a learning lesson nawet bi ñu jógee mooy flood bi am nii
suñ dëkkuwaay bi waaw
nga flood bi ñu am nii tilim dafa bokk ci sabab bi li gën a tax mu métti
ministre bi mu ngi koo wax
non loolu is an open secret léegi pour ñu avoid loolu nag foog ñu xool yan jéego lañ mën a jël balaa nawet bi ñu koy waajal xam nga yàgg nañ ko di fi wax ne réew mi dañ war a génn ci lu xew rek ñi ànd ak moom dañ war a waajal suñ bopp léegi lañ war a waajal naka la ñuy duggee ci nawet bi ñu dëgmal te benn bunt bokk na ci ñu xool naka la ñuy defee pour réew mi mu mun a set ñu dellu ci taxawaay cet gu nga xam ne démb li fi nekkoon ñaan dafa wax lu am solo te xam nga yàgg naa di ko fi wax ne réew mi benn nattu lañu yàlla defal te foog tegguñ nattu boobu suñ bopp yi ak suñ xel yi mooy suul jëf on san réew mi dañuy suul jëf de te loolu dañ ko war a génnee on san Amadou jëfam man waruma ko mën a suul lépp lu Amadou def ci lu baax war naa toog ma ne ay la yëwen ne Amadou lii def na ko lu ma ñëw pour ma war cee taxaw ci fi Amadou taxawoon dama war a yokk waaye warumaa wàññi waaye bu ma jógee ñëw ne damay suul lépp lu Amadou defoon bëggumaa dégg sax ku wax ne Amadou jaaroon na fi te this is the problem of inheritance bu nga xam ne ni ko ñang waxee problème la ci coalition 2016 bi ñuy ñëw dañ ñëw ne nit warut a toog sax di fàttali ne da ngay toog nga ne Saa Dawda nga war a wax Yahya Jammeh nga tëb Yahya Jammeh di wax Saa Dawda mi fi nekkoon come on loolu ba kañ tey Saa Dawda bi mu fi jógee Yahya Jammeh moo fi toog yow Yahya Jammeh nga uutu nguuram kon kooku yow da nga ko doon na understand nga nit ki munta doon na baayam understand nga ba lim am mu génnee ci noonu lay fa baayam dañuy ne doon sa baay moo ko gën understand nga doon na nit ki understand nga gën ko mooy li ëpp solo waaye tey ñin réew mi liñ gëm rek mooy ne Yahya Jammeh dictateur la woon Yahya Jammeh raykati nit la woon Yahya Jammeh waaye lu baax ak yu rafet yi nga xam ne mu ngi ko doon def comme niñ ko fi doon waxee léegi réew mi ñëpp gëm nañ ne sop région bi sax dañ ne wax ne Gambia am na internal security dañ ko doon ndamoo ñëpp tey Sénégal setal bi ñuy def nii fii lañ ko doon ne léegi lu tax ñin bi nguur gi ñëwee juróom benni at jëm juróom-ñaar tey réew maa ngi tilim Birkama ay Sancaba ay Sanyang ay Tujereng onasan nga ñoom ñoo ci gën a bon lay ci tilim demal ci tefes bi nga xool ko
ok
léegi
because of time
waaw loolu yëpp mu ngi ci
capital yi West Coast
waaw léegi because of time
waaw
nañ wax ci efficacy bi mooy ci naka la ñoo def ba tey ñu gis c'est-à-dire bu ñu ko wootee du doon kese rek woote rek ne because ministre bi dafa bëggoon a woote ñu ñëw ñu gis ministre bi ak fiw nit rek ñëw dajaloo West wala ñëw dajaloo fii laal fekk li mbir mi war a demee ni ñu xamoon seetal duñ ko xamee fii du ñu xamee woon time boobu place yi ci marché bi dafay tëj ñoom ñëpp ñu ñëw ñu xëy fa liggéey kansul ci génnee moto yi NEA génne seen moto ñuy war a dugga teel a dem si ajuma bi la ñoo dugga waaw loolu dafa war dama jàpp ne lii nii rek doyul comme communication bi doyul NEA dañu war a jóg
marché bi bu fekkee ne joxoon time nit ñi dem dugga
waaw
set du am
loolu
du nga nag lii problème mooy set dafa
parce que
marché bu ñëw jëndee li ñoo lekk yóbbu ko ci kër yi bu set
waaw
kër gi set amul njëriñ
ok léegi efficiency bi ngay wax noonu commitment la commitment bi mooy
waaw xam nga time nañ fa wax tamit time yi Jammeh def doon joxe time te dafa ànd ay daan
non waaw loolu mooy commitment
loolu nag bu fekkee ne gars yi waxuñu
loolu mooy commitment
moo ñam bu ngi wax ne buñ teree nit ñi dox seen soxla léegi bu fekkee
non dinañ ci ñëw dinaa ci ñëw
non waaye da ngay
apply am permit waaw
da ngay am permit
non waaye loolu
la moo tax mu war a métti nit ñi boo leen bàyyi seen sago duñ def liñ ko moo ñan suba samedi buñ waxee ne yow ku neex dem ku neexu dem ku neexee nga dox soxla kenn du dem ku nekk da ngay dem digganti sa soxla
waaw léegi Amadou non léegi non loolu laa la ma ne la
waaw léegi dama bëgg a yow nga waaw dama bëgg a waaw nga joxe foofu ku nekk yéen naxa ngeen foogee ne
waaw man li ma gëm rek mooy ne li ma gëm mooy commitment man laa gëm ne mooy indi efficiency bi
waaw ci naka
commitment bi government moo ci war a jiitu government am na ministry of environment am nañ resources yu nga xam ne jox nañ leen ko ministry of environment NEA NDMA understand ñoom ñëpp national disaster management ñoom ñëpp mun nañoo liggéey ak council si understand nga suñ liggéey ak council yi léegi nag commitment bi askan wi di def mooy ne tey ak yelleef bi nga xam ne Amadou am na ko mu war ko ne leer na ko ne moom ci boppam war naa taxaw ci njëkk setal boppam understand lan la olof wax mu ne xoddee ko ci balaa ngaa lakkale kuy digle sangu da ngay set understand ñoom ñoo war a jiitu ci xeex bi liñ ciy jiitoo mooy samedi bi ñu wax ne loolu dafa war a am Ministry of Environment ak institution yi yëpp ma tuddal la ak Kanifing Municipal Council KMC ak naka Banjul ak West Coast yëpp ñi pare pour ne ñoom ñu ngi employé ay nit ñu leen di fay weer te ñooñu setal rek mooy li leen war te ñooñu dañuy bëgg a setal nit ñi di liggéey léegi nag bés bi nga xam ne moom la ñu setal man dama gëm ne sax jarut muy àgg ba 1 gis nga diggante 9 ba 12 war nañ cee mën a setal lépp luñ bëgg every end of month diggante 9 ba 12 buñ téyee dëkk bi ne lenn na mooy tax Amadou mu dem mu leer Amadou ne exemple farata bi ngay doxi dëj la nga dem nga doxi ko mën a sàng non déglu la
travel bi sax dafa war a
non déglu non
ay ku war a dem base dafa war a dem base
non loolu laa la wax ne ma ne non loolu laa wax
ku war a tukki mon ñang yooyu yëpp dañ ko war a contrôle
non commitment bi mooy li ma la wax dafa am contrôle ak
foog affaire liggéey bu àndut ak sart man gisuma
sarta yi
fu ñoo jaar bel affaire yi moom
sarta yi ñu
effectif
sarta yi ñu ciy teg dafay uuteeg sarta yi woon démb xam nga sarta yi woon démb nit ki amu ci sago nit ki amu ci sago waaye tey yow sa sago la war a doon because démb am na ku nga xam ne day tëdd këram du setal onasan du dem liggéey
ba léegi sax onasan ba léegi sax loolu war naa am
waaw loolu laa la wax nii waaye dama ne Amadou tey man bu ma jógee mu leer ma ne onasan
léegi maam léegi nañu waxante dëgg léegi maam defal ndànk
9 o'clock
waa léegi maam baal ma rek da nga wax ne am na li nga xamante ne doon am si setal bi ci liwaa bi bu fekkee dañoo jàngat rek lan moo doon am li nga xamante ne comme dañu wax ne dafa garaaw warutoon am for exemple diggante 9 ba 1 o'clock li war na tax liggéey bi dem yoon lan la
non xam nga li xew mooy is against human right nga forcer nit ki lu nga xam ne du lu ko gënal
comme exemple naka ci naka lan la doon forcer
li doon am mooy yow daf lay leer ne tey Amadou am nga dëcc wala feebar nga bugg a dem hôpital understand nga
waaw
ñu ne la ne oto bi du pousser fii ak fii
déedéet
budul da nga dem binda pamit balaa bés bi léegi nag yow feebar nit ku feebar ndax mën naa waajal boobu
ak feebar da ngay dem de yooyu moom dañ doon dem
non déglu ma li ma wax mooy Amadou
li ma wax mooy
di nga dem loolu laa la ma ne
waaw
nga am ngénte
loolu laa la ma ne
pour am pamet doo gis moto bu la yóbbu
léegi yow Amadou yow léegi man ameewuma taxi private laa amee understand nga private bi ma amee ajjuma ci guddi laa fanaanoo feebar samedi ma xëy ne dama war a dem hôpital
waaw
understand nga
waaw
léegi yow su fekkee yow yaa ma war a yóbbu
waaw
yow amuloo pamit
waaw
understand nga sukkandiku ne ci maam moo feebar moom laa yóbbu
non da ngay
di nga dem
kay
di nga dem waaye balaa ngaa dem foo toll di nga lay ba nga egg
non du lay boo expliqué sa bopp la rek waaw
te xanaa man tëdd rek moo tax ñu xam ne
maam ji bi loolu moom
maam boobu da ngay dem
loolu da ngay dem le problème is yooyu ak la xam nga da ngay
foofu laa la mooy léegi
ok time bi jeex na sax mon ñam bala ma waaw léegi maam daaneleel foofu waaw daaneleel foofu rek après nga commentaire waaw
time bi pour man nañ ko wàññi
bëggoon naa la challenge yu bari ci foofu waaye time bi duñu ko may
time bi nañ ko
parce que
wàññi
man
mooy 1 o'clock
man xam naa ni nit ki
non understand naa xam nga loolu yëpp is attitude ñin la understand time bi pour man nañ ko wàññi 12 o'clock baax na 9 ba 12 lu ci nit bëgg a setal ci réew mi war nga ko mën a setal understand nga am na ku nga xam ne dafay tukki am na ku nga xam ne bu demul jaay ji du am dépense añ ci këram kooku foog nga sóoraale ko understand nga léegi loolu moo tax ma ne la ne pour man restriction ci nga xam ne dañ koy teg ñun ñëpp nañ jël suñu responsabilité man ma commit suma boppa ne dama war a bokk si ñuy setal réew mi kon du ma dugal dara ci luubal ak tappale luy tax ba si setal jot
dinaa try maybe fii ba Friday wala next week ñu am NDMA officer here ñu discuss about this thing sorry waaw non NEA laa bëgg a wax waaw waaw bu dee ñu apply kay waaw ñu after nañ xaar acca yow daanale foofu la nga foogee ne buñ ko defee mu dox parce que man am naa ci beneen gis-gis because man nit ñi naa su ma jaas bu gën a ñëw set nit ñi dañoo wax waaye boo fi waxee ne ku neex nga génn ku neexul nga génn liggante sa soxla da ngay continue génn setatal boobu
waaw Amadou loolu dinaa si ànd ak yow bu ko ña ko doon def ñoo gënoon a piin te terewut nit ñi daan nañ ko def terewut waaye Amadou foog mu am coppati tuuti man Greater Banjul area bañu ma 9 ba 12 comme lu maam ma wax oo woon baax na waaye ki war a génne tukki génne Greater Banjul area kooku waruñ koo téye si yoon bi
ok
pour ñoo bloc di whole country
waaw waxu foog naa waxu waaw
non loolu war ta nekk parce que loolu la si nit ñi loolu moo si métti woon nit ñi waaye ku ne xam na ne yéene bi ak jubluwaay bi lu baax loolu nag
bitin di Greater ku war a jógee ko Serekunda dem Banjul
waaw yooyu mun nañ ko bloc
ak Brikama yooyu mun nañ ko bloc
bu fekkee du emergency yoo xam ne ni yooyu noonu la comme feebar ak yooyu noonu waaye ku war a génn moom dem tukki Farafenni ou mu war a dem
Basse ak
loolu kooku waruñ ko break
ok
so second li mooy ne daf lu ma laa wax ni mooy ne neen fexe ba moto yi nekk in place mbalit bu génn ñi teg ko si dem
ok
waaye joo fi mbalit